All right, I'm back. Yeah, yeah. Nice. Mm-hmm. Mm. That's hot. That's weird. So I gotta talk to them. I gotta talk to Lisa, the girl who set me up with the glasses. Dude, it's $500 it cost me. So, but yeah, no, this doesn't work. So we gotta figure out what the hell's going on. Oh man, yeah, didn't feel that. Right? Oh man, gotcha. That's funny. That was funny. Fuck, that was funny. Oh, dude, I'm not muted. What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, and that's the one, the only Scott Savage. Scott, what's up, buddy?
That's right. It might be a little harder to recognize today, but it is me.
It's a little lighter in the face.
But today is the second Star Wars day. Do you know which day this is? This is Revenge of the 5th.
Oh, man. You and your dad, I tell you. Yo, what's up, Kyle? I know, right? Dude, look at that baby face. He just started high school today, apparently.
Yeah, it really takes half my lifetime off my age. It's funny.
I'm just so used to the beard. It's just, yeah. I don't know.
Just wait till I shave the top.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna do it, dude. Here it is. I showed you 2 seconds ago. I'm trying something new, and it's not working yet. But we're gonna take a look. All right, you ready for this? I'm getting older. It's official. I am definitely getting older. We're trying them on.
I've seen your beard turn gray.
That's true. Actually, you have. This used to be actually black at one point. Yeah, the glasses are something that's new. I'm trying to figure out. They say it takes about like 2 weeks to work through. Dude, that is weird. I know it's weird. I can read it, but I'm just not used to it.
I do get a bit of a Clark Kent vibe.
I feel like I gotta look like I ain't doing this.
You do have a very strong chin that goes well with it, though. You get the Clark Kent vibe.
There, now I can see I'm back to normal. I'm back to normal, everybody. Just like no, there's nothing normal here. You should just join us live each and every day, Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, over on YouTube.com/Inside the Game Official, as well as Kick.com/Inside the Game, and a few more coming up next week. But until then, you can't join us live.
Back to normal.
Hit us up later, InsideTheGame.ca, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, today's show is a hot one. Hogwarts Legacy could be getting a sequel as Avalanche Software is recruiting for their next AAA console title. Another Star Wars.
Make a bet on that.
Yeah, dude, yeah, that's an easy bet right there. Another Star Wars show is in the works. Possibly we'll be talking about that one, but it's based off of a game. Pretty cool. Destiny 2 fans are going to get a little upset because, well, prices are going up. Moving forward. Man, I don't know, Scott. I don't know.
If you're in the Destiny boat, it's always kind of rocking a little bit.
Isn't it? Dude, they don't have like smooth sailing, right? It's just like, here's another tidal wave. We're going to take a bunch of your guns away.
Yeah, that's the one that I remember.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think a lot of people remember that one. But dude, let's get into it because I want to talk about Hogwarts Legacy sequel possible as developer is recruiting for an unannounced AAA console game. Michael Hardens over at PSU. Avalanche Software has started recruiting for an unannounced AAA console title, which means it could be quietly tinkering away on a Hogwarts Legacy sequel. This is all just speculation at this point, but considering the game's success, it's probably a no-brainer at this point, Scott, I would say.
Yeah, that really is it.
Quote, Avalanche Software, a division of Warner Brothers Games, Inc., seeks a software engineer to join our talented team working on an unannounced AAA console title. As a member of a studio's engineering team, you will collaborate with designers, artists, and other engineers to develop immersive gameplay experiences with industry-leading visuals. End quote. Scott, if you had to think of what's really on the dock right now for them, what's at the top? Hogwarts. Just saying.
Yes, it has to be. It took the world by storm, and for good or for worse. A lot of people really were not happy about it, and that's the only concern that I have going forward. If we do get into a sequel, and I think we will, is this, I want everybody on board on that project to be excited to work on that project. You know, there's a social stigma tied to it that I don't know if we'll get rid of, and that's just unfortunate. That's my opinion.
But I don't know if it matters, because as Tom Henderson reported over at Insider Gaming, despite only releasing on current-gen consoles, the release of Hogwarts Legacy being on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and dude, did it go to PC? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I
haven't heard anything about it.
Despite all that, current gen consoles, the stigma behind the game, Hogwarts Legacy has generated $1 billion in retail sales, Scott. I don't think it's hurting whatsoever.
Well, and if you wonder why that may be, I implore you to Google what's called the Streisand effect. When you tell somebody, do not go to there, do not. Well, what do you think your kids do?
They're gonna go, right? It's just
that's right.
Yeah, no, it is a no-brainer, dude. I love my time in Hogwarts. I do have to go back to finish it off. It is one of those. Is my
we've been
backlog.
talking about that. off camera here. I'm recording
Man.
some stuff for nice, helpful hints and stuff that I picked up throughout the game, and
Yep.
it has me going back. And oh yeah, this is still in Game of the Year discussion.
Absolutely is, right? And I think that's the other side of it too. And as Kyle just pointed out, Hogwarts Legacy now, as of today, his son just woke up and realized he can finally play it on the Xbox One X and the PS4. So we're in for a whole other wave, Scott, of money being influxed over to Warner Brothers and Avalanche Studios for making such an incredible game. I am very curious to see how well it does on consoles and how well it runs on last gen consoles is really where I'm at, because I'm playing on PS5, you're over on the Xbox Series X, and there has been a couple little graphical glitches that you experienced that I never did at all being over on PS5. It's curious.
Yeah, so interesting how the older gen will handle it, because is it going to fare as the PC ports have recently for new releases, which is an awful buggy mess, unfortunately. But it's notable that it's past $1 billion on a limited console release. We're still grappling with supply numbers, and although that's not a problem now, all the people who may have bought that console might be on to other things now. Who knows? It's interesting to see what the breakdown is.
No, absolutely, right? And when you think about how people are still struggling to grab these current gen consoles, what if the install base was already there? Where would have this brought the game to a bigger number? $1.5 billion? Like, who knows, right? Like, it's still a great conversation to have, and it's still a great thing to see, because what does this mean? It does mean more Hogwarts is on the way. We do know we're getting a Quidditch game, which is completely off of Avalanche's team and onto a different studio, and they're working on that, because it was so weird, the fact that we didn't get it in Hogwarts Legacy to start with, and that's the reason why, is because a whole other team, a whole other studio is working on the Quidditch team game, and I'm just, dude, I don't know if it has the legs to stick around on its own thing. I think they were better off to kind of incorporate it into the game, but I think this is their second wave of how can we get more Harry Potter money.
I think if they attached it to the main game, it would have been thinned out in order to fit, and maybe just in development wise, they didn't have the resources for it. But I really haven't looked back at how the original Quidditch did on GameCube, because I don't think it sold very well. But it was also in the height of Harry Potter hysteria, really. So who knows? Well,
here we are with Hogwarts Legacy, right? How can you not compare the art style, the art direction that they took with Legacy and going into the Quidditch game? Like, dude, it's like it's going from realistic to Fortnite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're going into that Fortnite field with the new Quidditch game.
I want to say in a sports game, does it really matter how you look? But then I caught myself, because yes, every year NHL will tell me. The developers got very angry at that thought I had.
Yeah. But, dude, I think a sequel is just inevitable. Obviously, we're going to be years away from getting anything, but the foundation is built there. So how much do they take from that foundation that they've already used here with Hogwarts Legacy and then transition into 2? So just free up some of the resources that they don't necessarily need to build from the ground up like they did with Hogwarts.
Yeah, all these assets are there. Right? Yeah.
Maybe some fine-tuning, some tweaks here or there, maybe kind of enhance it a little bit for the next round, because as they get more comfortable with where they're pushed the technology of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S, we could be into a whole other level, right? On the next gen or current gen, whatever you want to call it.
Wring more power out of it, for sure.
Dude, but it already looks so beautiful. Like, that was the thing. It already looks so good. To see where we can get the Hogwarts Legacy sequel, I think will be pretty cool.
You've reminded me. They actually have released an arachnophobia option as well, with the current, or rather the last gen release, with the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 era. You can now get arachnophobia mode on, which is interesting because the game does look really good. And as a child, those giant spiders in the forest terrified me. Nightmare fuel.
I do like the accessibility features, right? They're bringing in that the fear of spiders, obviously, with arachnophobia, and being such a concern.
As an adult now, I try to scare myself. It's come full circle the other way. That's why I try and work on horror games with you.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. I do not do the horror game at all. So, dude, what do you want from a sequel? I think that's my biggest thing. What do you want?
Triwizard Tournament could be cool, but then again, where do you put it in the timeline? Does it have to relate to this one?
Right.
Can I have an entirely different character? I don't want my character to move forward like Mass Effect did. But
Okay.
that's because I'm not very tied to my character. I skip a lot of cutscenes and that. I'm not
It's
the
because you're playing the
model
game wrong.
gamer.
You're-
I'm playing it on review mode, which means crush it.
Yeah, it's dude, I've enjoyed every little bit, and I'm really attached to my character. I love my character, so I'd like to see that actually transition into the next one. I don't think it will, and I really am curious, what timeline do they put this in? This was obviously all before, way before the events of Harry Potter and everything, right? So that way they were able to kind of create their own story. Do they now tie the second one into the leading into the events of Voldemort? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we could almost get to like a prequel setting.
If
right?
the game ended off with the cursed child and how that
Oh,
begins with the beginning of the book, the first book, describing Harry's parents and the night
right?
that Voldemort came from, yeah, that would be an excellent ending to a game. Have you stand up and buy all the books.
Man, so I've read all the books. I am not one to read a lot of books, but that is one series I completed, and that does not happen very often. I'll be honest.
Admittedly, that was 15 years ago. Maybe I read it.
Yeah, no, I did. So, dude, that'd be wicked if they could lead up to those events and just leave that boom right at the end of the game, as and you're just kind of like, oh, right? What a way! But we'll see. Time will tell.
Makes me think of Halo. The way Halo Reach ended, where you just went, oh, it's over, but it's over, and it felt so good.
Halo's still over. Dude, let's move on to the next one. As Star Wars boss teases Force Unleashed TV series. Kate over at Gaming Bible had this to say: who else is on a major Star Wars kick right now? Dude, everybody's on Star Wars.
This is why I've teased shaving my head, Drew. It's all led to this.
Right? Yeah. It was funny because he posted last night.
Star Killer.
Cowl updates, and your cowl just looks completely different than my cowl. Well, almost different, somewhat different, right? It's a matter of gear than anything. Dude, the gear thing.
They don't let you change your hair color.
No, they don't. Which is fair. But yeah, I turn on my console and everybody's Star Wars. I think it's all Star Wars. But yeah, The Mandalorian's third season was excellent. I'm super hyped for Rey's film announced for the Star Wars Celebration. Plus, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is out, and it's an absolute banger. Well, that's the case if you're playing on consoles. It's a completely different story for PC players who have faced a myriad of bugs and glitches. Jedi Survivor's director revealed that they could have delayed the game further to iron these issues out, but decided against it to avoid competition. Why competition, Scott? Because Tears of the Kingdom is out next week. Game. Dude, there was just so much on the go. Yeah.
Well, and if you go after that, then what do you wait for after Starfield?
Well, it's just, where do you line up? At this point, dude, I feel like there's always something heavy hitting. Bless you.
Oh, pardon me.
I feel like we're only a week or two away, and then we get this little slight, I can breathe, and then bang, I'm hit with another one, and then I was just like,
that's what this weekend is for me. But looking at our schedule coming up, who knows? You know better than I.
Dude, yeah. We'll talk about it.
Don't slow down yet.
Oh no! Our list of reviews schedule is crazy. Excited to say that Darren actually beat Star Wars last night.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he finished it off last night. He said he's about 40 hours in. That was with some search. I know. I was like, oh boy.
Never did I think I would be in the same company as somebody that would beat me through games.
Yeah, it's funny. And then you talk to our buddy Kyle, which we talk to almost every day. At least I do. And he is like a completionist, right? So he'll clear out the one region. And obviously there's certain things you can't do in Star Wars that you got to come back to. But either way, Scott, let's get back into it. Man, totally side tangent over here.
Talk about get back to regular.
Yeah, well, one of the hugely popular non-canon Legends properties over at LucasArts was Star Wars Force Unleashed, Scott. And in an interview, they've stated that it sounds like that we might be getting a TV show adaptation of Star Wars Force Unleashed, which is, dude, I'm down for that.
That's awesome for me.
Yeah, it was cool. Back in the day, that was like, yo, this is a wicked game. Star Wars I didn't play the sequel as much though. Did you?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah,
really?
Because it was in high school at the time, right? Everybody was kind of ripping on the game. They didn't really think there was much behind it. But being the completionist, the achievement hunter that I am, I said, let me get a look at this.
Right.
And I saw through all the complaints, and it was actually a really good game with a decent story angle and a good character, though. But the second game it could have been DLC for the first, and that's the problem.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I wonder what season they'll they'll probably start from the beginning, right? I think they would. But there's so much Star Wars, dude.
The Rancor fight. I'm stuck at the Rancor fight.
The first was good, but not the second, says Kyle. He says you're wrong.
It was okay, but it just was DLC.
Yeah. Well, that's just it, right? So definitely curious to see. But again, here we go. More Star Wars, Mandalorian, Andor. Like, there's just movies are coming. There's animated series, Jedi Survivor right now. Now we're getting in. Dude, is it going to be like? I almost feel like it's Marvel. Is it just too much Star Wars?
In my opinion, it is, because I only say that because of the last 3 movies. However, I have not seen Andor, and Mandalorian is excellent.
Mandalorian is fantastic.
So it can certainly be done well. There's no doubt in my mind, but I'm not a fan of that sequel trilogy, and I fear for the newer movies.
Dude, let's get into it. Bungie raises the price of Destiny 2 season passes going forward from season 21, Season of the Deep. David over at PSU. Dude, this is sad news. Now, granted, we've seen everything kind of going up too, right? I wonder if it's just a matter of the time. Sign of the time, Scott, as they say.
Yeah, well, right? Look at the gas price.
Dude, I'm so mad at gas prices. Don't even get me started on that. But either way, I feel like an old man. I feel like my dad. Destiny 2 players.
When I was a kid, it got over $1 and the world almost ended.
Right? Destiny 2 players will have to pay more for new season passes beginning with Season 21, Season of the Deep, and beyond. While Season Pass previously would cost 1,000 silver, it'll now cost 1,200 silver. I don't know what that is in actual currency, Scott.
I bet you this is engineered, though. I bet you they sell it in 1,000 increments.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Siege. The season pass.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, I'm telling you, right? The season pass, along with the boosted 10 levels into the season, was before 2,000 silver and will now be 2,200 silver. Silver is a premium in-game currency with which Destiny players can purchase special merch from the in-game store, and particularly the season pass at the beginning of each new one, in order to gain all premium rewards throughout each level. Bungie developer delivered the news through the latest TWAB, Scott, where regarding the change, Bungie said, quote, "As our teams continue to invest in crafting compelling seasonal experiences for the year of Lightfall, there's a heads up we wanted to give regarding a small increase in the standalone season pass price, beginning with the Season of the Deep. This will be the new pricing for season passes in Lightfall's year for those looking to maximize the rewards with each new season, and will be evaluating new approaches to post-launch content in the year of the final shape." End quote. What do you
Evaluating
do, man?
a new approach to post-launch content. Does that mean a different package, a different method of delivery instead of just a one kind of season at a time? It's interesting. I'm not sure what they mean by that.
Dude, it makes money, right? Like it makes a ton of money year in, year out, season in, season out. I was just talking to my kids yesterday, and Garrett, my middle child, is talking about like, "Yo, Dad, the new season for Fortnite is awesome." I'm like, "What is it?" "Well, there's 2 seasons." I went, "What?" Here,
yeah,
right? There's 2 seasons. So one is like the base season, and then they have a Star Wars season pass you can buy as well.
Ooh,
I was like,
okay.
I knew the Star Wars pass thing was there, but I didn't realize it was not tied into the actual initial season pass.
Yeah,
I'm like, money grab, right? And it's just,
they'll find a way to get you twice.
But they will. And now if you're heavily involved with Destiny and you're there grinding the grind day in, day out, this has got to be a little frustrating for you as you hit this extra 200 silver is kind of what's going on here. And that could be, like you say, Scott, all of a sudden now you went from that 1,000 silver purchase to now you need 1,500 silver to purchase to get that 1,200, right? Here it is. Siege does this all the time. Season pass. I complete the season pass. Never gives me enough R6 credits to buy the next season pass. I am 600 short. every time. So now I have to go in and
You have to
purchase
top it up.
6. Yeah, I got to keep topping it up every season, right? And granted, I could stop that, but I play this game every day and I'm just going to do it. So for those who are into Destiny, it's the same thing, right? They're going, well, this sucks, but here we go. We're going to do it anyways. And that's the way it's going to work, right? What do?
I'm curious to speak to people who are still up on Destiny, because I've not been into the scene in forever. I have no idea what's going on from the perspective of a fan. I'm wondering if does this feel like a bit of a slap, or is this just business as the times get rough?
Well, that's the other side, dude. You purchase Star Wars right now, it's $100, right? Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, it's $100.
Dead Island 2, $100 or $90 at least.
So we go from what used to be $80. Now we see a price increase for our games here at the standalone, right? Granted, we're pretty fortunate in what we do, and sometimes we don't have to pay for most of these games. But at the same time, if you are one of the few that are grinding this game, and all of a sudden your price goes up, you're like, come on, really? Like, what's next? So
yeah, some sort of a long-term rewards loyalty thing would be a great idea for me. That would alleviate any sort of concern, because if you're a season's pass owner since 2016, here you go, you can continue at the normal price.
Almost like a grandfathered in kind of scenario.
Yeah, that's kind of how I look at that, actually. That's exactly how I was thinking of it.
Scott, we do have a couple game announcements and releases for today. Let's get into that. What do we have?
We have Hockley Roguelite Tape to Tape lights the lamp on Steam Early Access today. That is a very styled announcement. I like that. Tape to Tape. I have not yet checked it out, but I'm interested.
We will be.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Week in and week out. We also have the old gen release of Hogwarts Legacy, not to be ignored. This is an amazing game, and if you've been waiting on it, now's your chance to get that on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Hometopia is on PC, and I feel like I've seen a little bit about that game, but I'm not so familiar.
It almost reminds me a little bit like House Flipper.
Oh, okay.
Right, you know those Sims? It looks like one of those. I don't know. It's for somebody, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was thinking like Unpack, but it kind of looked like Animal Crossing characters.
Yeah, that's fair.
Perhaps I'm confused.
Scott, that is, we do have a few minutes left before we go, and I did this on purpose because I want to talk about what we're playing right now. This is one of my favorite things to talk about as what we play, because we play a lot of games. We get to cover a lot of things. We got a cool show coming up next week with a lot of things we covered. A lot of embargoes dropped this week for us, so make sure you swing over to our YouTube channel. Check out all of our content over at InsideTheGame.ca. It's there as well. Scott, any highlights from this week that you've been playing? What do you got?
Ooh, Star Wars is really on the mind right now. That is really just eating up my consciousness. But I've been starting doing this funny thing where I spend my Xbox rewards money and all the money I have on it on games we have previously reviewed. So I now have the ITG 2020 lineup on my Xbox ready to go.
Well, and good luck getting to that. So for me this week, I had a couple things we've been playing for the show. I want to touch on Ravenlock real quick. Corey and I reviewed that one. It was a cool voxel art style that kind of really pulled us in. Corey enjoyed it a little bit more than I did. I felt very fetch questy in the game, which can be okay, but it felt a little bit too much. But at the end of the day, I had a great time. It was very cool, very Alice in Wonderland inspired behind the game. It's kind of how I took it, and it was cool. Definitely check that one out. And then the one you and I played, Scott, not too long ago, was After Us. That game was very cool. I thought that was a neat little take on kind of the world, our own personal world state in pollution, and how that's kind of dominating the scene and stuff in this game, and we're there to set it free. It kind of reminded me of Flower back in the day. If you ever played that.
That premise reminds me of Little Nightmares.
Oh, really? That's fair. That's fair.
I'm not sure if you played that one.
Nope.
Or would.
I did not. I did not. But yeah, definitely check out After Us. Our previews there as well. And of course, just like everybody else, it is a whole weekend of Jedi Survivor in between family visits I got coming up this weekend. But yeah, it's Jedi Survivor has consumed a lot of my time. I'm 15 hours in right now, so we'll be talking about that.
Strong.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. This is the way. It is definitely one of those things. But Scott, just like that, everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the latest and greatest in news each and every day. And of course, enjoy your weekend. Happy Jedi surviving. And until Monday, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.